Hi everybody, this is Stefan at the Pleiadian Institute in Geneva. And in this video, we'll keep meditating together. So this is video number 5 today. And I'm with Dan, who's in California. And to me, the number 5 is linked to the angelic kingdom and actually a kingdom that's right above the human kingdom. And that's based on love. And that's perfect because that's what we are trying to create here in this series of meditation, is a relationship with love. So Dan, can you hear us or hear me?
I am here.
Great. All right, so we can start it up now.
Okay. Welcome, everybody. Be well. Hope you're well. And cast out fear. We're going to turn our attention into love in our triad within our awareness. And this time we're going to push ourselves further than we have been. If you're going to work with the living presence of love in your consciousness, it's going to change on you daily because we have such a unaware view of how the nature of love works. It's going to shift constantly towards something we have little awareness of at this point. So we're going to push that awareness a little bit and ask you to consider an idea here today with us that we haven't really looked at. So remember, I said in one of the earlier videos, these are conversations in consciousness. So in our awareness with love, we're having this conversation, not in our intellect about ourselves or the world, but holding love in presence with us. So let's take a moment and build that presence into our triad of awareness, love, you, and everything in your awareness, exchanging, circulating, relating. And you may have found that this is not that easy a thing to do. It's an easy thing to do because we're all doing it right now, but it's not an easy thing to remember to do as we go through the day. This is the basis of my request that we meditate with our eyes wide open so that we develop the process that leads us to this conversation today. So relax for a minute and look into your presence with love and let it touch you. Let it find you at the very core of your life, your core of your heart, of your mind, of your being. And then through you, let it find everything in your awareness. Open the doors. And when we come to that sense of flow, that sense of energy, turn your attention away from love. Turn it outward to your field of awareness and place love's creative presence behind you, so to speak. And as you do that, consider this proposition. Love itself, within its field of awareness, is creating through you, because it is the creative power of the universe, everything in your field of awareness, moment to moment, without any ripple of disturbance. The whole universe is being manifested from the subjective to the objective through intelligent being, through consciousness, through, in our case, us. Not everything in your awareness you're responsible for. There is nature working through the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, the mineral kingdom. There is the soul of those kingdoms, if you think of it that way. There's the angelic kingdom working through the reflections in form of beings and things that exist in creative power. So take a moment and think of it as insight into creative source and the expression of that outward into the world as the objective expression of that. They are one and the same, though to us they seem separated into two, subjective and objective. As we go forward with further experiences with love in our relationship, all of these things change and grow and expand, but they can't gather everything as they go and leave nothing behind. In other words, you're going to continue to understand from the beginning to the end. But for now, we're holding this flow. It isn't even a flow when you come to the instantaneous expression objectively of what is subjective, and when you realize that it's happening everywhere simultaneously and through you into your awareness. So as we open up and just let that whole idea penetrate and let love have the space that you are occupying with thinking about it, we'll gather more from observing love in its relationship with us than we ever will by thinking about it, removed from it, which is what our habitual intellect loves to do. You have to get into the presence of relationship. When you feel a sense of unity with the source of creativity and that which is being created, new insights come into our awareness, and we realize that we are neither the subjective nor the objective. We are that which is creating. We are the creator. Whether you're unconscious, which is what's happening in the inner world of love, or whether you are conscious, which is the outer world of our awareness, they are both part of one unity achieved through insight. The constant condition of insight opens us into the path that leads to endless creation, endless relationship. And it is only when we open our relationship to love itself that we can travel that path, because a separate idea of ourselves can't make that journey. It's just too dynamic. It's too powerful for us. So we're sitting here with our eyes open, at the same time looking into love as it looks through us into our awareness and joins us in the gentle process of transforming our life to reflect a closer relationship to love, to the power of it, to the vision of it, to the purpose of it. It begins and ends in the circulation of love to us, to our objective self, to everything in our field of awareness. Let go, unlatch, expand your sense of freedom. Observe in your consciousness the idea that everything within us is what is expressing itself in our awareness. And look at those around us, look at our own life, and realize if it's something in that field of awareness that we don't like, then we need to look into our own creative matrix of thinking and feeling and see what we're doing to create that. Because we are creators from the word one. And until we surrender into the realization of that with love, we won't realize we've been creating unlove. We've been creating not love. Go ahead, you had something to say, Stefan.
Yes, so it means that we have a huge responsibility if we realize that we have really this true creative power. It means that at each moment we really want to value this relationship with love, because at each moment we are reflecting it to the world and to our consciousness.
If we can, that's absolutely true. Because it's scary at first to realize that you are a creator. You always have been. You always will be. This is what the imagination opens us into, makes us realize we are completely responsible for everything in our life. What's in your life is in your field of awareness. And things that we're not yet aware of that we're creating are even scarier. The disease growing in the body that we're not conscious of because of something we're doing in our emotional body or our mental body. Our fear that some virus will overtake us and kill us because we believe in such things. We believe that that is outside of our creative power, when of course it's not, and it's not outside of love's creative power. But if we give that to our creative power, then our creative power sets about manifesting it for us. This relationship to love is okay to enter into because it never betrays you. It's always faithful to you. It always loves you. That's the only place in the universe your heart can trust, as it lets go of things that it doesn't love, unloving things that are in our awareness. You let love express them. You let love touch them. You let love transform them and transmute them to reflect love. And they will disappear. They will change. And if it's others who are clinging to negativity, as you love them, as you hold presence with them, they will begin to soften and change. You will see it. Just hold love. I'm sorry, which means you're aware that you could have been there sooner for them. Forgive me for not being on time to your problem. Thank you for letting me into your life. I love you, which is the final expression of brotherhood. Let this thought be your thought towards everything in your life, and everything in your life will begin to respond to love, because you're charging by your relationship to love your entire life with it. And yet you're in control. You want love to go? Drop your triad. Stop holding it in your awareness. Banish it. It's instant. It's love.
So maybe we can take a little bit of time to breathe in and out these ideas and feeling and emotions that we were just discussing about.
Yes, I'd like to do that. I'd like you to merge your inner vision of love with Stefan's and with mine, and let it expand and synthesize, because this will be the process of humanity. Eventually, human beings from birth will be realized and trained to understand their relationship. And when we all are relating to the same love, we will be growing into the realization of our absolute unity with each other. It's an automatic, it's physicality, it's science, it's process. So as we hold that, let's hold that surrender. And because we're in the middle of a pandemic and fear, I want to tell you that love is not a substitute for intelligent action. We can't be carefree. Oh, nothing can touch me. I have love circulating through me. We are growing illusion out of the ego, and we're growing intelligent reason and discernment and justice and honor into our ego. And that means right action, which is what the Buddha recommended. Love was recommended by the Christ, and right action by the Buddha. So take right action. Right action means build up your immune system so that love has something to work with in your body. Vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin D. You have every tool inside you, but you must honor them. So don't think love is a substitute for any right action, for honoring the space between you and other people, for the things that we're learning as humans to do. Sanitation is real. Cleanliness is next to godliness. So holding that, let's let this circulating subjective and objective unity merge into a deeper understanding of the eternal now, creating everything from its purpose. Love is the teacher, the greatest teacher in the universe. Be the best student in the universe.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Dan. Thank you for your presence today. And we'll see you at the next video.
Thank you, everyone.